Ooh, what's up, nerds and geeks? My name is OMGWTF LOTWBRB. Welcome back to more Total Extreme Wrestling 2016. We are playing as the WWF in the year 2001. More importantly, we are booking the Invasion angle, and tonight we'll be running WCW Thursday Night Nitro. Just a heads up for all of you, this week's Nitro will feature no Goldberg. I know, it's kind of weird, considering that he's been our main focal point, but we do have other storylines, so tonight we'll feature other storylines besides Goldberg and Chris Jericho. We'll give it a little bit of a break. Even though it does feel weird, like I feel like, Goldberg should be promoted somehow. I mean, I just feel like that's how Nitro would run, but either way, there are no locker room incidents, so let's just jump right into the action, as we have a total of 3 pre-show matches. First match of the night gets a solid C rating here with a 59, and a pre-show bout that had subpar wrestling and little heat to it. Spike Dudley and Hardcore Holly going over Billy Kidman and Evan Courageous, one of our developmental stars, and a former WCW talent. 5 minutes, 46 seconds when Spike Dudley defeats Courageous with the acid drop. Alright. In terms of in-ring performance, Billy Kidman was head and shoulders above everybody else, with Courageous being the weak link. Which, that's to be expected since he is the dev star. It's good to know Billy Kidman is outshining even Hardcore Holly. But, because I think Kidman's a lower mid-carder and Holly's a mid-carder, but, whatever, who cares? Just a, random thing. I guess this doesn't push the story along, which, whatever, but, there's a storyline between Spike Dudley and Billy Kidman, so that's mostly why this match was made, and I figured since Spike was dating Molly, maybe over time, I know Hardcore and Crash didn't like Spike at first, but maybe over time Hardcore learned to love Spike. And, Evan Courageous just seemed to match Billy's style, so that's why he was chosen. Either way, though, we got a 52 in-ring performance for Hardcore, 48 for Spike, Courageous with a 38, and Billy Kidman with an impressive 66. And still improvement, as he has both Rumble and Performance to improve on tonight. The next segment probably won't do too well because it features Daphne! We got an E+ 32 rating here in an abysmal pre-show match. Daphne going over local talent Angel Williams, better known as Angelina Love to probably most of you, in 4 minutes 17 seconds by submission. I wonder what her submission hold is. Pretty vocal crowd were, of course, not happy with Daphne. Still don't know why. I even checked her. She's got if I remember, I'll show you guys after the show, but she's got, decent skills. There's nothing negative, really, about her, so I just don't understand. Maybe it's her sex appeal, but I can't really judge that yet, because she's still young, so I don't know. Raven still, of course, managing, so doing good work ringside. Daphne with an in-ring performance of a 40. Angel Williams with a 14. This is probably her first match ever, so give her credit. And then we move on to the main event of the pre-show, as Raven teams with Big Bossman and Perry Saturn. I wouldn't read too much into that. To take on Too Cool, Rikishi, Grandmaster Sexay, and Scotty 2 Hotty with a 69 C+ rating here. Pre-show bout that had decent wrestling, but not much weight and heat. Raven, Bossman, and Perry Saturn going over Too Cool when Raven defeated Scotty 2 Hotty with a pile driver. Alright then. In terms of in-ring performance, Raven was head and shoulders above everybody else. Yes. Scotty was the weak link, struggling to keep up with everyone else's in-ring performance. Wow, Raven did better than Rikishi. Rikishi was apparently shit compared to Raven. No, and he didn't do that bad. Saturn with the 64. Bossman with the 58. Raven with a 73. Scotty with the 48. Grandmaster Sexay with the 58. And Rikishi with the 63. So, Perry Saturn pulled off the second best performance of the night, actually. And also, Scotty's improving in performance, so there's that going for him. Don't know why I got a southern accent from there. Either way, let's move on to the start of the show, which gets a 100 A-star rating. Hell yes! I keep forgetting to take Shane McMahon off as Booker T's manager, but that's whatever. Nitro opens up with Booker T making his way down to the ring. Can you dig it, sucker? Once into the ring, the former WCW World Heavyweight Champion takes the mic and begins to mock the current World Champion, Kurt Angle. He goes on to say, last week, it was a horrible Booker T start, but whatever. Oh God, this is horrible. I earned what was rightfully mine when I beat both DDP and the Giant to become #1 contender. This is more becoming Austin, I feel, to my WCW World Championship. This is really stone cold. Gotta get a little bit of a deeper voice for Booker T, you know what I mean? That's about as good as we're gonna get, I guess. Woo, okay. You're looking a little cringy there, but let's get into this. But that's okay, because Kurt opened my eyes. And no, I ain't saying Kurt got me thinking about some company fusion between WWF and WCW. This is still stone cold. I'm saying that in the past, Kurt's gotten the jump on me. He's beat me for both the U.S. and the world title, and after losing both, I'm taking a step back. I'm just going to stop with the accent, because I can't do the Booker today. I'm sorry, guys. So, either way, he goes, I'm taking a step back. Watch the tapes, and I seen what I did wrong. Kurt, come Armageddon, you ain't facing the old Booker T that had a chip on his shoulder and thought that no one could touch him. You're facing the new Booker T that knows not to take an Olympic gold medalist for granted. You know, that was until last week. You see, Kurt, out of any ounce of respect I had for you went down the toilet when you came out here last week preaching about how you believed you're some sort of messiah that's going to end this war by fusing the two companies together. Out went my respect, and out came my confusion. How could I lose to such a delusional idiot like you? Twice nonetheless. But none of that matters, because at Armageddon, I redeem myself and whoop that Olympic ass and take my gold medal back. That's when Kurt Angle's music goes off, almost like he was supposed to come out right there and then, and out comes the current WCW World Heavyweight Champion with the mic in hand. He says, "Insults, Book? That's what we've lowered ourselves to now? Insults? You know, I've got my 3 eyes, but I promise you, insulting isn't on there. In fact, let me give you a bit of a refresher, just in case you've forgotten, because you see, the 3 eyes is what will help me get the two companies to work together. Intensity, exactly what I used to beat you for both the U.S. and WCW World Championships. And then I've got the intelligence to see that a partnership is not only possible between WWF and ECW, but the WWF and WCW as well. And then there's integrity, a quality found in all good leaders, and a quality that is needed when looking to make allies out of enemies, not friends. I didn't mean to put friends. What the hell? That doesn't make sense. Allies out of enemies, a quality that you surely are lacking, Book. And the Book's like, oh yeah? You know what, Kurt? If you believe you really can unify the two companies, then how about tonight you find yourself a partner on the WCW roster and face me and WCW's Giant later on tonight? What you say to that, sucker? And then Angle goes, well, sucker, I say I'll see you and the world's largest trader tonight. And the Book likes, oh, that's rich coming from you, Kurt, but you're damn right you will. You sure as hell will. And then that just confirms our main event of the night. But before we can get to that, we, of course, have, Shane helping Booker, which he wasn't even supposed to be there. It's like the Clerks. I wasn't even supposed to be here, but, he's there. Heenan's still weak, but, that's okay. Booker was fantastic, which is excellent. And it gained heat to the feud, no worker improvements. But that leads into, the confirmation that tonight we will see the Giant and Booker T teaming up to battle Kurt Angle and a mystery opponent or partner. We don't know yet. He's got to find someone from WCW. Can he do that? 79B, not too bad. It lost heat for the feud, though. Why does that affect it? I got to make sure not to do that next time. Because look at this, it does this as well. Anyway, just hyping up the number one contendership 3-way tonight between the Steiners, Canyon Morris, and TNA. We then lead into a 75B- here as we're backstage. We see Matt Hardy. He's warming up. And that's when Jeff just busts in. He's excited and he says, Matt, there you are. I've been looking all over for you. And then Matt's like, why? What's up? And then Jeff's like, look, man, I know last week things got a little heated between you and I. And I know you said that maybe the Hardys should just go their separate ways, but I disagree. So I heard Regal is looking for any former WCW Tag Team Champions to step up and challenge Power Plant tonight. And seeing that you and I are former WCW Tag Champs, I went and talked to him, and he actually agreed to give us a title shot. And then Matt's like, what? I mean, that's great, but why would he do that? He said that we'd be a good stepping stone for Power Plant, but his big head's going to come back and haunt him when the Hardys become 2-time WCW Tag Team Champions. And then Matt's like, you know what? This is great, man. But what about Storm? We can't just let him get away with what he tried to do to us. And then Jeff says, man, forget about Lance for now. Tonight is about you and I getting our title back. Our titles back. And I don't know if I went on with promo 2 with them. I did not. But pretty much Matt's like, yeah, you're right. And then that leads into a commercial break, pretty much. We got the changes. What the hell? Oh, Jeff Hardy's changing his gimmick, I guess. So let's go ahead and change him to a dude. Which got a rating of poor. Huh. And Matt Hardy debuted Cocky Youth, which got above average. Not too shabby. Alright. Sucks to be Jeff Hardy right now, though. I'm sure he'll get over it, though. Christian's doing good. So we lead into a 73 B- as we're back from our commercial break. Lord Steven Regal, of course the WCW commissioner and manager to Power Plant, alongside, of course, the new tag team champions Power Plant. They're already in the ring. Regal takes the mic and he says, ladies and gentlemen, if you'd please quiet down for a moment as I introduce the world to the 2 men who defeated those rotten Guerreros this past Survivor Series, Mark Jindrak. And that's when a spotlight shines bright on Jindrak as he does a pose. And then he's like, Shawn Stasiak. And then Shawn Stasiak does the same exact thing, spotlight poses. And he says, WCW's Power Plant. And now that now that Power Plant has the tag titles, it's time to move on from those filthy Guerreros and move on to bigger and better things. You see, as WCW Tag Team Champions, Mr. Jindrak and Mr. Stasiak now have the very important job to not only keep the prestige of these championships, but raise it as well. And the only way to do that is, well, that is to defend them against top teams. Not some lowly royal family like the Guerreros, which is why I've checked the list of available former WCW Tag Team Champions and hadn't picked the top team from that list to be the first victims in Power Plant's reign. And that team is, and that's when Los Guerreros music hits, Viva la Raza! And out comes Eddie Guerrero and Chavo Guerrero, almost said Latino Heat. And Eddie takes the mic, and they interrupt him, of course, before he can even, introduce the Hardys, who we know are the challengers. And he says, now wait a minute here. I know you're not just about to skip over us when we're still owed a rematch. I mean, you're the man in the office, Holmes. If anyone followed the rules, I figured it'd be you. And then Regal goes, oh, I am. I just figured that Power Plant dispatched of you two so easily that there was no reason for a rematch, since it was a foregone conclusion as to who the winners would be. Which is why I went out and found Power Plant better opponents. And if you'll excuse me now, allow me to introduce you to Matt and Jeff, the Hardy Boys. And that's when the Hardys make their entrance, and they kind of, have a little bit of not a stare down, but kind of an awkward moment as they kind of look over and see Los Guerreros just kind of standing there, and they make their way down to the ring. Bell goes to the ring and all that, but before that even happens, Eddie once again takes the mic and he says, hey, Regal, you think me and my Shit, hold on. A little bit of a phlegm build up there, my apologies. You think me and my nephew aren't worthy challenges? That's a horrible Eddie, by the way. But I bet you're not a betting man. Because if you were, then I'd say you face me tonight, and if I win, we get our title shot next week no matter who wins this match. And then Regal says, you want to face me? That's rich. You know what, Eddie? You're on. And that sets up another match tonight, as we're going to see Eddie Guerrero versus Lord Steven Regal. But first, we got a tag team title match. And apparently, oh, by the way, Lance Storm's on commentary here, so that's why this lost more heat. Thanks a lot, guys. How good was this feud before? Chavo Guerrero was underwhelming, which is unfortunate, but Eddie was good, so. Mark Jindrak, still being, the promising talent, or I guess not talent, but promising prospect that he is, not only making improvements in acting, but better performance. Kid's going to be a star. We lead into the tag team match, which gets a solid B rating here with an 80. Hell yes. And about that had good wrestling and a decent reaction from the crowd. Power Plant indeed goes on to defeat the Hardy Boys in 9 minutes, 38 seconds when Mark Jindrak defeats Jeff Hardy following the Power Plant bomb after no Lord Steven Regal. I'm pretty sure I made a note of it. Yeah. That's right. The game doesn't take note of that. So, as we all know, I like to do this, but the game doesn't even really recognize me doing this. Lance Storm was on commentary here, which, to my surprise, didn't do bad. Does it say he did bad? Oh yeah, at the announce desk, Lance Storm's pretty weak, so yeah, he did pretty bad. Still making improvements. But he was on the commentary table here. And he ends up, distracting Matt at one point, which leads to Jeff getting hit with the power plant bomb. And, because, of course, Matt's distracted by, Landstorm because he hates him. And that leads to the Hardy Boys losing the match, pretty much. There you have it. Lord Regal doing good work ringside. Stasiak off his game, which is unfortunate for him. Jeff Hardy pulling in a 90 in-ring performance here tonight. You need to calm it down, buddy. Matt with an 88. Sean Stasiak with a 62. And Mark Jindrak with a 69. So not too shabby there. Made their second defense of the tag titles, but I think this is their first televised defense. And Jindrak is improving in Rumble. Still making improvements. Out of curiosity. Look at that. Star quality. Mark Jindrak's got good things. Hey, they got tag experience. I mean, good, but that's cool that it's showing up now, too. We then lead to a solid 60 C rating here as we're back from a commercial break. Raven and his flock are already standing in the middle of the ring as Raven takes the mic and he says, "At Survivor Series, I introduced the world to the beautiful yet insane Daphne. And last week, I introduced the world to the deadly Vampiro. Luckily for all of you, none of you are Tommy Dreamer, so none of you got the first-hand experience like he and his loved ones received. But the flock isn't done growing. We can promise you that. And if Paul E. wants to bring his ECW infestation to WCW, then the very rich Shane McMahon is going to go out and hire an extremely good extermination crew. He's going to want to hire someone who knows what they're dealing with. So he went out and hired me. And then I went out and I hired Daphne. And then Vampiro. And tonight, you lucky people are going to get to see Vampiro's talents firsthand. And again, lucky for all of you, you're not Vampiro's first victim. Unlike you, Billy Gunn. Vampiro, try not to kill him." And then Raven exits the ring and Daphne exits the ring, and I just imagine Vampiro just running straight at Billy, jumping at him and starting this matchup. Ravens was good. Look at that. Well, of course he was good. He's great on the mic. As we lead into our matchup, I told you, Billy Gunn found his job. 58 C-. I'm not sure if this was better. I forgot to check. Well, I probably didn't forget to check, but I just probably forgot. 58 C- rating here, and about that had subpar wrestling and little heat to it. The one Billy Gunn actually going over Vampiro tonight in 7 minutes 44 seconds, but it was after Vampiro got disqualified after going into an attacking rage. So pretty much the referee was like, "Stop, 1, 2." He counted all the way up to 10, and Vampiro wasn't listening. He was just beating the holy hell out of Billy Kidman. Probably causing, not Billy Kidman, Billy Gunn as he's, busting him open and shit, and eventually the referee called it off, disqualifying Vampiro for not listening. Of course, as we already know, Vampiro and Billy Gunn have great chemistry, which, that's a very good. Vampiro outperforming Billy here tonight with a 63, I think he did on Raw as well, to Billy's 50. No worker improvements. Hopefully Vampiro, stays off those drugs, which what sucks, guys? When I went in and looked at Vampiro, I was going to edit him. I didn't. But when I went in and looked at Vampiro, and here's the reason why I didn't edit him, he didn't even have a high, hard drug use. It was like 10%, I think, at most. And I'm just the unlucky son of a bitch that got caught with it, so, of course. We then follow up into our next segment here, which gets a 55 C-. The match is over, but Vampiro could care less. He wasn't listening to the referee before. He ain't going to listen to it now. Sure as hell ain't going to listen to some bell, as he just continues to beat the shit out of Billy Gunn. Pretty much just, it's getting kind of hard to watch. Like, Vampiro is busting him open, biting his wound, shit like that. Daphne is shrieking and laughing. She's shrieking at the top of her lungs just in the middle of the ring. And finally, Raven takes a mic and puts an end onto it. And he says, "That's enough, Vampiro. We wouldn't want to spoil the surprise for Tommy Dreamer. Because, Tommy, I forgot to tell you the great news. At Armageddon, you get your shot once again. I'm willing to let you step back into my world for a second time. And this time, Tommy, one of us isn't coming out." But before he can really even finish his sentence, Tommy Dreamer jumps the barricade and just slides in the ring and tackles Raven to the ground and starts, just pummeling him, laying down some like Luthez press like punches pretty much. He's getting as many strikes as he can because he knows Vampiro and Daphne aren't far behind, and Daphne and Vampiro quickly come to Raven's aid, pulling Dreamer off. Tommy starts fighting off Vampiro. He's not going to hit a lady, but Daphne's sitting there probably just beating him on the back, not really doing much as Tommy and Vampiro are exchanging blows. That's when Raven's back up now, and he jumps in. Numbers game catches up to Tommy Dreamer, and we now have both Raven and Vampiro and Daphne just beating the shit out of Tommy Dreamer once again. Things aren't looking good for him, and that's when Sabu's music hits, and out comes the homicidal, the genocidal, the something else-cidal, death-defying, I think it's suicidal as well, I'm dumb as fuck, death-defying Sabu, as out he comes with his trusty steel chair in hand, because, well, it's Sabu, and he's never a chair far away from him. Comes in, he tosses it right at Vampiro, right in his head. Vampiro takes a bump and rolls out of the ring. Raven and Daphne retreat because they don't want any of Sabu. He's insane. And Sabu helps Tommy Dreamer up, and Tommy and Sabu stand tall as, the flock retreats from the ring. Vampiro's getting better at his gimmick, which is promising, but lost heat to the Raven Dreamer feud, but that's not to be, I'm not worried about it. Holy shit, we lead into yet another 100 A-star, but I want to take a pause real quick. I just remembered my fans on in my bathroom. I don't know if you guys can hear it or not, but if you do, I'm sorry that this has been on and it's probably been annoying you, and we'll continue to annoy you, because I'm not going to get up and turn it off. It's a little hot, so. Either way, we got a 100 A-star rating here. It's Mean Gene Okerlund, who's not rated, so don't get excited. Says, well, fans, I'm backstage here with the WCW World Heavyweight Champion, the WWF's Kurt Angle. Kurt steps in, and he says, Kurt, tonight Booker T questioned your cause, stating that if you truly believe that you could unite the two brands, that you'd be able to find yourself a partner on the WCW roster. And I was just wondering if there's any update on that, if you found a partner. And then Angle says, well, Mean Gene, I won't lie to you. I've had no luck in finding a partner, but I'm not going to give up. I know a lot of people think I'm crazy to think that I can bring the WWF and WCW together. But if anyone can, Mean Gene, it's me. And I'll tell you another thing. But before he can even get off what he says, that's when Diamond Dallas Page, who isn't on the screen right now, this is off screen, says, hey, Kurt. And it pans over to him and you see, I hear you need a partner. And look, I don't know about this whole WWF, WCW working together stuff. But I do know that the Giant is Booker T's partner tonight. And he may be a literal giant, but he didn't beat me bad enough last week for me to forget what happened. Plus, this isn't the first time I've teamed with the WWF guy. So what do you say, champ? Let's put our differences aside and work together for tonight. And then he extends his hand and Kurt says, all right, I'll see you out there then. And then he shakes Page's hand and we fade to commercial as the two shake hands. And that just confirms that Kurt Angle has found himself a partner. It's going to be DDP, which, if you guys didn't know, come on, Giant was Book's partner. It's pretty basic booking. Either way, though, I figured if anyone would team with Kurt Angle, it would be DDP, considering he teamed with The Rock once, and he has his beef with the Giant, and well, he's a good guy now, so there's that too. We lead into our number one contendership match, as we get a solid B here with an 80, and about that had good wrestling and a decent reaction from the crowd. Kanyon and Hugh Morris end up drawing with Steiner Brothers and TNA. There was no elimination. I hate how the default three-way things are always elimination. Forget that there's an elimination. We're just going to go drawing with them, and I'll explain the rest. So we have this long-ass match here. It's a good match, because we see right here, good wrestling, decent reaction from the crowd. Back and forth action between Kanyon, Morris, Steiner Brothers, and TNA. Good action here, and it all gets thrown out when the tag team champions, Stone Cold Steve Austin and Rhino, get involved with weapons and just start beating down all six men. They go after the Steiners, Scott, and someone else from a different team, either Kanyon or Tess at the same time. Just beat down on everybody, leading to the referee having to throw the match out because, well, the tag team champions just got involved, and they just kind of laugh at it all. They lay them all out, hit stunners, gores, hit them with weapons, maybe put someone through a table. I don't know, but they do it. They beat the shit out of them. and pretty much end this in a no contest because they don't think they deserve the shots. Remember on Raw, Austin said no, none of them deserve it. Either way, Scott Steiner, no surprise, was head and shoulders above everybody else. Kanyon getting better at his gimmick, not enough selling shown, which is a shame. Lack of psychology, which is a shame. Morris with a 72, probably the weakest. Kanyon with an 80. Rick Steiner with a 77, so yep, weakest for Hugh Morris, which not bad considering where he stands. Scott Steiner with a 100. Calm it down, Scott. Albert with an 83, and Test with an 85. Nothing, no heat gained at all, and no worker improvement, so there you go. Nothing too bad as we go into an 83 B+. Backstage, we see the WWF Tag Team Champions. This is probably coming back, or during the commercial break, as we see Austin and Rhino. They're packing their bags into the, Austin's truck, about to leave. Mean Gene's able to catch up with them, and he says, Austin, Rhino, what in the world was that? Stone Cold's like, that, Mean Gene, was a message to any dumbass team that thinks they can step up and take on Stone Cold Steve Austin and Rhino. And then Mean Gene goes, but Steve, you made that match. You made that match on Raw this week to determine which team should face you at Armageddon. What are we going to do now? And then Stone Cold's like, yeah, but I also said on Raw that none of them deserved a damn title shot, and I meant it. None of them do. Hell, there ain't a damn team in WWF, WCW, or ECW that deserves to step up and face Stone Cold and Rhino. So until Commissioner Foley, or Commissioner Regal, or hell, even Paul Heyman step up with a viable #1 contender to our tag titles, Rhino and I are going to keep knocking them down. You all packed up, Rhino? Good, let's get the hell out of here. And then Austin gets in his truck and he drives off as Mean Gene just stands there like, what the fuck? So Austin explains pretty much that, he states there ain't no damn team out there that can beat me and Rhino, so none of them deserve a shot. Austin was fantastic. Rhino was good. Great, well, not a great angle. It's only a B+, but good angle. We then lead into a 75 B- here as we're back from commercial. Or I guess not back from a commercial, but, now after the whole Austin rant thing. Chuck Palumbo is making his way down to the ring. The announcers put over what happened on Raw when RVD took on Chris Benoit, which led to, Chuck Palumbo interfering and then beating the hell out of RVD after it. Chuck's now in the ring. He takes the mic. There is no Stacy, by the way. Stacy is not with Chuck. She shouldn't have been with Chuck on Raw, but I remember to take her off now, unlike I do with Shane all the time. So there's no Stacy here. And he says, oh, you're all talking now, aren't you? You see, Rob, it's really nothing personal. It's just you were the last straw. And after your fluke victory over me a couple weeks back, I lost it, especially after Stacy left and told me that I needed to prove myself. And I'll be damned am I going to end up like Sean O'Hare in a ditch in the middle of nowhere. You cost me my title shot, Rob, so I cost you yours. But Stacy still isn't here, so obviously I need to prove myself more. Which is why I went out and find someone similar to your size and style, Rob. And that's Alex Wright here, Das Wonder Kid. But tonight, Alex, you're not Alex Wright. You're Rob Van Dam. And I'm going to break you because of that. And then he just, kicks Alex Wright or whatever, just starts the match here between him and Das Wonder Kid, which gets a 71 B- here. And about that had decent wrestling, but not much weight and heat. Chuck Palumbo going over Alex Wright in 6 minutes, 30 seconds with the Torture Rack submission hold. Palumbo with a 70, and holy shit, Alex Wright is ready, guys. Once this invasion thing's all ended and stuff, and we can actually, I might even call Alex Wright and Disco up beforehand because they actually, are a team and it makes sense. I just don't want to job them out. That's why I keep putting them back on the developmental so they can get some momentum on their side. But Alex Wright is pulling in 52s. Holy shit, dude. He's killing it. We then lead to a 78 B rating here. I didn't feel like typing anything in because I can just explain it as easy. Chuck Palumbo, he continued, like I said, he said tonight Alex Wright is RVD, so all he sees is RVD. And he starts beating the shit out of Alex Wright, but that's when RVD comes racing to Alex Wright's save, and Chuck Palumbo starts brawling with RVD. They exchange some blows in the ring. RVD gets the advantage and, hits that spinning kick or whatever the hell you want to call it, kicking Chuck Palumbo out of the ring, and Chuck Palumbo just kind of retreats as RVD stands there and checks on Alex Wright, which is interesting when you think about it, because, technically Alex Wright is WCW and RVD's ECW. But, whatever. Don't read too much into that either. So, yeah. Just moving along the storyline here as we go into our matchup between Lord Steven Regal and Eddie Guerrero. And by the way, this does not end with a pinfall or a handful of tights, but we'll get to how it really ended in a second. As we get a 74 B- here in a decent match, Regal going over Eddie Guerrero in 8 minutes 11 seconds with, by pinfall after using the power of the punch, his signature brass knuckles move. So nice back and forth match, nothing too, nothing too shady, no power plant involvement, no nothing like that. Just a match between Regal and Guerrero, which Regal cheated to win by using brass knuckles, as he's famous for doing. Eddie with the 77 and Regal with the 77, so good on them there, and it gained heat to power plant and Guerrero's. Regal's also improving in performance. Also, hopefully he won't, get mad at me, because Regal's still irritated with me for some reason. Actually, no, I think I paid him off like I do everybody. We then lead into a 79 solid B rating here, as we're backstage in the WCW locker room, and Booker T comes in, he's mad, and he's like, "Man, what the hell is Paige thinking? Teaming with Angle." This is a better Booker T, much better than early. "Is he serious?" And the Giant's like, "It's like I've been saying. Paige is all about himself. He doesn't give a damn about WCW. All he cares about is these people's approval. And all these people approve of is The Rock. And now that Paige has Rock's respect, Paige feels he's some WWF guy. Trust me, it won't be long before DDP turns on us. Or at least it wouldn't have been until I stepped in last week. I sped up the process, and he's already starting to turn on us. But tonight, I take him out before he even gets his chance." And Book's just sitting there like, yeah, you damn right you do, pretty much, stuff like that. Just a little pre-match hype promo, whatever you want to call it, before we get into the main event, which is Kurt Angle and DDP versus Booker T and the Giant, which gets a solid B rating here with an 82. Oh, that's a shame for Kurt and DDP. We'll get to that in a moment. And about that had fantastic heat and great wrestling heat. Booker T and the Giant end up going over Kurt and DDP in 13 minutes, 26 seconds, when the Giant beats DDP with the chokeslam. He straight up beats him. I'd imagine maybe DDP going for a diamond cutter, but Giant's too big to pull down as he grabs him by the throat and then just picks him back up and chokeslam him as Kurt and Booker T are just kind of brawling. And there you have it. Also, what could attribute to Kurt and DDP losing is the fact that they don't work well as a team. Timing all over the place. Never will they team again, but it was kind of a one-off thing anyway. DDP with a 75. See, now it doesn't make sense why Shane would be here. Anyway, DDP with the weakest in the match with a 75. Kurt with an 83, which is a little disappointing. Probably had something to do with that, to be honest. Giant with an 88, and Booker T with an 89. Booker T's improving in performance, and we end off the show right there with an 88B+, increasing our popularity in 2 regions. Ooh. Pretty average show, I guess. I liked it. Continued along other storylines that needed it. And they got fantastic reviews, so you can't complain. Ooh, Juvita Guerrero missing a show at XPW. Weren't they reporting him to be one of their big stars or something? We probably went to Noah. Let's see, hold on, match history. Was he at Noah? December 2001, week 1, Wednesday. How did he go to the Wednesday show? Unless we're not in week 1, we're in week 2, that's why. I don't know, yeah, he'd skip the show. Wolf and Ash going to HWF, that one promotion. Uh-oh, we got an opinion. Rikishi doesn't connect with the fans, you should probably write him off. Thank you, Scott Steiner. Alright, let's check out our storylines and whatnot before we end this off. Storyline here got an 84B+ right now, 86 for Book and Angle, 73. Jericho and Goldberg are still killing it. Edge and Christian are killing it, but it's just mostly because they benefit from Jericho and Goldberg right now. And Taker and Benoit, killing it. Good stuff. Let's go ahead and save here real quick and end this off. My name's been OMGWTF, hello with the WBRB. Oh, before we end it off, let me show off Daphne real quick. Yeah, see? Her in-ring performance, strong. Get the fuck out of here, Dave Hebner. Physical abilities, average. Entertainment and camera, average. These don't matter. She's got a good reputation. the only thing she's got a good gimmick. We've seen her do well in the ring. I don't understand why they don't like her. I don't get it. I just don't. The only thing I can think of is maybe her sex appeal isn't good. But I guess, we could check real quick. I don't know if it'll show me. Hold on. Edit data. Worker. Don't you love how long this takes? Daphne, we go to select. Let's see if it's like something like her sex appeal or anything on here. Personality. Whatever. Performance, that's what we're looking for. No, it's not. It's something in a lifestyle. Look at that. Nothing. Popularity, definitely not what I'm looking for. What the fuck? Where would her... It has to be... Skills, that's what I was looking for. I thought I clicked that. Her sex appeal's not even that bad. She's got a 68C+. What the fuck? Where's her performance? Psychology's not that bad for a women's wrestler. Decent stamina. Good charisma. Decent mic for a women's wrestler. I can't find her performance on here, but still... I don't get it. I don't get it, guys. I do not get it, but, whatever. That's fine. My name's been OMGWTF, LOLFTW, or BRB. Hope you guys have enjoyed. If you have, do me a favor, leave me a comment, like, and subscribe if you haven't done already. And as always, I will see you guys for the next episode, which will be Sunday Night Heat. So, until then, have a good day.